I want to say something that might be uncomfortable. You're not underpaid because you're lazy. You're underpaid because the way you were taught to work, it was actually never designed to make you wealthy. And this is the thing. No one teaches you that in school. No one's ever taught you that in life. But I can tell you, once I figured that out, I stopped being frustrated at myself and I started being frustrated at the system that never explained this to me. So let me break it down. So growing up, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, I was taught one thing about money. If you work hard and you show up, if you're reliable, eventually everything's gonna pay off. And honestly, I believe that. Like, I truly believe that. And that's what I basically did, right? I stayed with one company for almost 20 years. I showed up early, I stayed late. I was the most dependable person. I was basically the person that could be counted on at all times. And one day I started looking up and I started realizing that the people making more than me, they weren't working harder than me. All right. Some of them, they were working way less than me. Like, I mean, way less hours, way less stress, way less frustration. Like, they were just working completely on another level than me. And for a while, that honestly messed me up in my head. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, if hard work is the answer, why isn't it working for me? And some of you probably are thinking that, like, why isn't it working for me? I can tell you that question has sat with me for a long time. And the answer to it was, when I finally found it, it was something that nobody had ever sat me down and explained, right? It's not something that my parents or anybody who I had watched ever explained that to me. Here's what I had to understand. Hard work, it's not worthless, all right? I want to be clear about that. It is not worthless, but hard work is only the entry fee, all right? Understand that. It's only the entry fee. It gets you inside of the door. But for whatever reason, and I'm not just saying for whatever reason, but it's a more of a deeper reason, it doesn't get you to the next level, right? What gets you to the next level is something totally different, something entirely different. And most people, because no one ever taught them this, they spend their entire careers working hard. And I'm sure you're like, why? Why do I keep working hard and I'm staying at this entry level? And they're wondering why the door never opens wider for them. That was me, like, for the longest. And maybe that's you right now. So here's the first reason why hardworking people stay underpaid. All right, this might shock you, but they only do what's expected. All right, I said it in the beginning. I was dependable, I was reliable, I show up early, I stay late. But at the end of the day, I was only doing my job. I was only basically doing what was expected. It wasn't like I was solving anything. I was doing what was expected from an hourly associate. All right. Once I got promoted, I was doing what was expected from an hourly or an entry level leader. So I was guilty of this for many years. I tell you, I did my job and I did it well. I did everything that was asked of me. But I never went beyond that. And here's the problem with that. When you only do what's expected, you basically become someone they appreciate, but appreciation and income, they're not the same thing. They're not. The people who get paid more, the ones who keep moving up, they're not just doing their job. They're doing what I call solving problems that nobody asked them to solve. They're making decisions before they're told to. They're making other people more money. They're making other people's jobs easier without being asked. And that's what makes you hard to ignore, right? Honestly, that's what makes people hard to ignore. When you're doing someone's job and making someone's job easier. I had to stop waiting to be told what to do, and I had to start identifying what needed to be done. And I can tell you this, once I made that one shift, it actually changed how people started to see me. It changed how people saw me at work, in my personal life. It just took me to another level. All right. The second reason, and this one, I'll say this one cost me more than I honestly want to admit. All right. My value, your value probably currently, it's invisible. My value was invisible for a while. And it wasn't because I didn't have value, but it's because I didn't know how to show it. I would walk into rooms, meetings, presentations, conversations with leadership, and I know the information. I've talked about this before. Sometimes I knew it better than everyone in the room, but I wasn't communicating it. I wasn't raising my hand. I wasn't speaking up with confidence. Like, I didn't raise my hand at all. I could have the answer in my head. I could have the answer to know the problem, to the problem that was being asked. And I would not raise my hand because of my confidence level. I was literally shrinking. And when you shrink in a professional setting, people don't see your value. Honestly, what they see is they see your silence. That was me for multiple years, like a mute, basically. And when that happens, they make decisions based on what they can see. So promotions, they went to people who were louder than me. Opportunities, they went to people who raised their hand faster than me. Not because they were honestly better than me. All right. It's me versus me. It's you versus you. But a lot of those people aren't better than you. So they didn't get it because they were better than you, but they got it because their value was visible, and mine and yours, it just wasn't, or it isn't currently. If people can't see what you bring to the table, they're basically going to act like you're not bringing anything. That's the truth. Like, that sounds heartless. That may sound cold. That may sound like a gut check, but that's just the truth. All right. The third reason is the one that took me the longest. It took me the longest to face, honestly. And that's that I hadn't made the identity skill shift yet. All right. And what I mean by the identity skill shift is the shift, the change in identity. What I mean by this is I still saw myself as an employee, someone who shows up, someone who does the work, someone who goes home. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's not. But that identity has a ceiling. All right. The people who break through that ceiling, they start seeing themselves differently. Their level of confidence starts growing. They stop thinking, what do I need to do today? And they start thinking, what kind of person do I need to become? I'll tell you, this is what I learned. Your income, it's rarely going to exceed your identity for long. It rarely will. You can get a raise, you can get a promotion, but if your identity doesn't match that level, you'll find ways to stay comfortable at a lower one. I had to start seeing myself as someone valuable, right? Like I had to see myself. I had to see myself as someone worth listening to, someone that was hard to replace. And that didn't happen overnight. But once it started happening, everything else started following. All right. There's this moment, and I don't think you can rush it, where you stop being frustrated that nobody is recognizing you. And you start asking why. Why isn't my value visible? What problems am I not solving that I could be? What do I need to become to earn what I want to earn? Those questions are a little different. They hit emotionally a little bit different. And they lead you somewhere different. Where they lead you, that's the shift. And once you make it, you stop feeling stuck because you're no longer waiting on someone else to see your value. You're actually building it. So look, if you're working hard and your income, it isn't moving, I don't want you to be frustrated at yourself. Because honestly, you were taught to work hard. Nobody taught you to build value. Nobody taught you to make your value visible. Nobody taught you to shift your identity. And I don't want to stop the blow or lessen the blow, but that's not your fault. It's not. But this is the thing. Now you know. So the question is, what do you do with it? Because the same effort that you're already putting in, redirecting it towards the right things, it'll change everything. I want you to drop a comment and tell me which of these 3 reasons hit closest to home for you. I honestly want to know. And if you're ready to start building the actual skills that increases your income, make sure you watch this video right here next. Later.